What's up, guys? So I'm going to be talking about a company that I don't talk about very often, and I think I should because it's the company that I grew up with. It's the company that started me as a gamer. It's the company that I owe so much of who I am as a gamer, and that is Nintendo. So Nintendo just had their Nintendo Direct online presentation just a few days ago. I think it was on the 15th of this month. Dude, I love Nintendo. This is what I grew up with. This is my childhood. We've had every Nintendo system there has ever been, except for the Wii U, handhelds included. Kirby is my love. I love Kirby. He's my favorite. Like, my favorite characters in video games are almost always Nintendo characters, like Kirby and Luigi. Nintendo always brings their A game. They always have something where you're like, oh man, that looks good. But this is the year of Nintendo. There are so many games that I want where I'm like, oh my god, I need to get a Wii U. The game that, and now this game wasn't really talked about. It wasn't even talked about in the Nintendo Direct that they just had. But they have shown off some gameplay already. It's the Zelda game, the new Zelda game that's going to be for the Wii U. And it's an open world Zelda game. And I'm like, I played Zelda from like top down view, gold cartridge. I was there. I remember that gold cartridge. So I'm like, I need a Wii U. I need to get it. And it's coming out this year. Like, most likely sometime in the fall, but it just looks so good. There's also a Star Fox game that is in development that's going to be coming out sometime this year, maybe mid 2015. They say that it should be coming out sometime before the Zelda game. Xenoblade Chronicles X. That game looks so good. They showed that off on the Nintendo Direct. You're actually controlling a mech, and I was like, sold, thank you, bye. And I have a lot of points saved up at GameStop through my Power Up Rewards card. I've been saving them up just in case I got a Wii U, so I'm probably gonna use it on some big coupon or something where I could get the Wii U maybe a little bit cheaper. And the cool thing is that the Wii U is cross-compatible. Like, you could play Wii games on the Wii U. Makes your money so worth it because there are so many Wii games that I never got to play. So I'm gonna see about maybe starting to save up for a Wii U. But aside from the Wii U stuff, the 3DS, I'm sure you guys have heard me say it many times before. Now, if you're like, that's a 3DS, it looks so weird. This is actually the Dream Gear cover for the 3DS, which is awesome. I love it. I love this cover. It makes things so much more comfortable. It does make it a little bit more bulky, but it's made out of, like, what is this, silicone or whatever the hell it is. I think I got it near its release. I recommend this system so much because it's so good. No, but I don't recommend this one. I recommend the new one, the new 3DS, because dude, I want one, but at the same time I'm like, this one works just fine. The difference between the 3DS and the new 3DS that's coming out on February 15th? No, 13th. This is an XL, by the way. For those of you that don't know anything about the 3DS, you could have the 3D off. I always have it off. The new stuff for the new 3DS, that's what it's called, that's what they're calling it, is that it has a C joystick, a C stick up here above the buttons. There's nothing there now. It's supposed to be like this. Like a rotatable joystick type of thing. The function of the C-stick is pretty much this. The C-stick on this. I was like, oh, that was the C-stick on, I think this was the GameCube, right? This isn't the actual GameCube controller. This is like those Game Shark things. But it's pretty much the C-stick, where you would control the camera and stuff like that. I think the Nintendo 64 also had it. The 3D mode is advanced. It's better because the biggest complaint about the 3DS is that the 3D, you would have to be facing it head on. You would have to be looking at the system straight ahead in order for you to see the 3D. If you were to move the system or your head just a little bit, it would get blurry, like really blurry. So people were like, oh man, it makes me dizzy. It's like super blurry. I don't even know why people use the 3D. It was because of the system, the way that the camera worked. It only worked for 3D when you were facing it. So the new 3DS now has a camera that follows your face. Wherever you move, the 3D will move with you, so it's not blurry anymore, which is interesting. I don't think I would use the 3D anyways because I hate 3D. But hey, at least they fixed that, or at least they fixed that. I would like to see if they really did fix that, because that would make a huge difference for a lot of people. It's thinner. The new 3DS, it's thinner than this one. It's slightly bigger. I was reading an article by Polygon where they actually tried the new 3DS, and they said that it's not made out of this like cheap plastic. It's actually this sleek, almost console-like material. It just looks so much more sexy than this thing. Like, this is like, it doesn't look bad, but it's just like, okay, here you go. It also has much more power for a lot of things, not just to support the new camera, but to support a lot of new features. Like the menu system runs smoother, the browser, the internet browser runs a lot faster, and they're not really making exclusive games. I mean, there is like one or two games that are kind of just exclusive to the new 3DS because of the features, because of like the camera features and stuff, but in no way does it mean that you can't play these games on the old 3DS. You can. The biggest feature is that now that the new 3DS will read amiibos. I remember talking about this with my brother when the amiibos were being talked about. They weren't released yet. We were like, why didn't they do this for the 3DS? You know, why didn't they just sell like a little apparatus that you could just connect to the 3DS and have it read it? That would have been cool, instead of having to make a completely new system. That would not be very practical to have to carry that thing around along with the 3DS. The amiibos are pretty cool. I'm not like, I'm not too big on like Smash Brothers, Mario Party. I used to be, but not so much anymore. On the new Mario Party game for the 3DS, you could use the amiibos as actual game pieces. So that's pretty cool, but it's not like for me like, oh my god, I need it because of that. The amiibos look really cool though. I really love how they look like. I would love to just buy them as like little figures. Another feature is also that it comes, the new 3DS also has a new set of buttons on the top, trigger buttons. So it's kind of like the RT-RB. So there's these triggers and then there's another set here. I think that would add a lot more control to the system, because it's giving you more buttons for like menus and stuff like that for games, like say for Harvest Moon. It sucks to have to like, you could use your finger, but sometimes, you know, it just doesn't feel right with your finger because it's like little tiny buttons on the bottom and your finger's too big or whatever. You know, you have to take out your thingy and like stylus and like start clicking down here for like menu systems, and you would want to just like push a button. So now having an extra button, it gives you more options of like menu systems and all, different combos or whatever, with depending on whatever game you're playing. So I like that. I like that it has new triggers, or an extra pair of triggers. There are also two really cool bundles that are going to be coming out the same day it releases, on February 13th. It's the Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate new 3DS bundle. Looks pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of Monster Hunter, although I am pretty interested in the new Monster Hunter or Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, or 4G, whatever you want to call it. But because it's more focused on story now, so I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. And then there's multiplayer. I was telling my brother, I was like, dude, you got to get this game. We have to play multiplayer and like, you know, go on quests and like fight monsters together. I don't know if I'll get it. I do want to download the demo, because first I was like, okay, well, they said in Nintendo Direct that they were going to have a demo to download where you could try out the multiplayer. But then I was like, oh, they're just sending out codes to specific people. So it sounds like they were just sending some codes to people to try out the game. But I think this was just pre-release. Maybe they'll have the demo, you know, for you to download on the eShop when the game comes out. Maybe, I don't know, open to the public type of demo, maybe, hopefully, because I do want to try it before I actually buy it. But that's one of the bundles for the 3DS. And this, I was like, oh my, one of my favorite Zelda games is Majora's Mask. So when I found out that they were making a Majora's Mask version for the 3DS, and they were changing some things, or adding some things to suit the new 3DS with the camera and all that, and they have a bundle. They have a Majora's Mask bundle. I was like, I'm gonna get Majora's Mask anyways, but I don't know if it's worth me getting another DS system when this one works just fine, and I'm already thinking of getting a Wii U, so I probably won't. Most likely I won't. Most likely I'm just going to focus on getting a Wii U. Like I said, this is the year of Nintendo. There's so many things that I'm so excited about when it comes to Nintendo, and it's never really been like that for me. The years where I'm like, oh cool, Nintendo's got some cool stuff coming out, but if I've never really been like excited for it. And then there's this new game that is pretty, the idea of it is really bizarre, codename Steam, and it's pretty much Abraham Lincoln. I don't know if you are Abraham Lincoln or what, or he's just a character, but you make a team of 4, I think it's 4, and you go against aliens. It looks really funny. But the thing that caught my eye was that it's by the makers of Fire Emblem Awakening. So I was like, they said it was like a strategy type of game. It doesn't really look like your typical JRPG strategy type of game where it's like, it looks like a board game. It doesn't look like that. It looks more of like an action RPG strategy. So it looks very different. What I don't know is if it has like a story, because is it just like a dungeon crawler type of game, or does it have a story like Fire Emblem had a story? If it's just a dungeon crawler, like go kill the monsters, get the loot, and that's it, that bores me so fast. If that's the only point to a game, forget it. I'm not even gonna get it. I need to know more about Codename Steam, but I think it's a pretty funny idea and like bizarre, and just the developers behind it is what sparked my attention. So I'm gonna keep looking into that. And if you pre-order, I'm telling you, man, this is exciting. If you pre-order Codename Steam, you get this awesome Majora's Mask pin from GameStop. Oh my god, I need this. It's like a steel pin. It looks so cool. Speaking of Fire Emblem, oh my god, when I saw the trailer for the new Fire Emblem game, I literally screamed. I was like, oh my god. The new Fire Emblem game, there isn't like an official name for it. It's developed by Intelligent Systems, which is the same developers that did Awakening. It's the same artist, so it looks pretty much the same. But there's bigger choices, bigger effects on the world. So far, the new Fire Emblem looks pretty much identical with the gameplay and the way it looks. It looks pretty much identical to Awakening. It still has that strategy-based board games type of style. The little sprites, that's what they call them, right? When it has to do with the story or one of the characters is talking, they'll pop up in anime style. So the new Fire Emblem is just, I need this game. Like, I need it. And of course, I've been waiting for this game for over a year now. The new Harvest Moon game. Now, Harvest Moon has gone through this huge change of name, of company, and all that. And I actually made a video where I explained exactly what's going on with Harvest Moon. I'll link it here, so you guys could, if you guys don't know what the deal is with Harvest Moon. The new Harvest Moon game, the game that is called Bokujo Monogatari in Japan, which is the Harvest Moon that we've all known, you know, Harvest Moon Back to Nature, Harvest Moon, Nintendo, the Nintendo Harvest Moon, all those old ones, you know, Animal Parade. It's the next title of that kind. Because just recently, another game came out called Harvest Moon Lost Valley, or something like that, the Lost Valley. That's not the same series. Even though it has the same name, it's not the same series. It's not that Bokujo Monogatari from Japan. So now Exceed has the rights to Story of Seasons. That's our Bokujo Monogatari. That's our Harvest Moon that we've all known and loved since we were little kids. Or at least since I was. It has been released in Japan since February, for a year, since February 2014. So I've been seeing a lot of stuff. I've seen like little Let's Plays of it. Not too much of it, because I don't want to ruin it. But I have seen how it works and all that. I've seen the characters, and I'm just dying to play this game. Oh my god, I want this game so bad. I love Harvest Moon so much. It's my baby. You know how big of a fan I am when it comes to Mass Effect and Dragon Age and all that? Before all that, it was Harvest Moon, and I still am. That's how big of a fan I am when it comes to Harvest Moon. I get Harvest Moon withdrawal whenever I go without playing a Harvest Moon game. I swear. Where I'm like, I want to play a Harvest Moon game. Like, it's been too long. Since 2008, there hasn't been another Harvest Moon game on console. What the hell, Wii U? Like, I've always said that since the Wii U was released. I was like, I'm not buying a Wii U until there is a Zelda game announced or a Harvest Moon game. I would buy it like that. But the cool thing about Story of Seasons is it's just 3DS. The biggest feature is that now Harvest Moon has a multiplayer aspect to it, where you can actually go and visit other farmers' farms and like help them crop stuff and stuff like that. And you can actually see the little farmer, your little farmers. Harvest Moon has never had that. This game had a somewhat of a multiplayer aspect to it. I used it with one of you guys. One of you was really nice enough to give me, we traded something. I can't remember what I was looking for in the game and I couldn't find it. But you guys were like, oh, I have a bunch of it and I don't use it anymore. So I traded with that person. Now there's a bigger aspect. You could actually go to their farm. Dude, I am running on like 100 miles per hour. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming for Nintendo, for the 3DS, for the Wii U, and I'm sure they have a bunch of other stuff in their bag, because they always do. This is the year of Nintendo. This is the year I'm going to be buying more Nintendo games than I have in a very, very long time, I think. I usually buy maybe one game a year for the 3DS. These are my only 3DS games, plus Fire Emblem, but my brother has it. So this year, it's like, I'm going to be buying a lot of Nintendo games, which is really weird for me, because I'm like, I haven't done this since I was a kid. And if you haven't seen that video of Nintendo Direct, it's maybe like a 45-minute video or something like that. They have it on YouTube. I'll have a link in the description for you to go check it out. Let me know if you're interested in any of the games they announced or anything that I talked about. Would you get a new 3DS? What do you think about it? Do you think the new 3DS is worth getting? So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, Jesus Christ.